Welcome, dear students and forthcoming entrepreneurs. I welcome you all on this discussion of important topic how to export agro products. This comes into mind of every student, of every exporter, whosoever moves ahead for making a venture, a company to export different agrarian products. India, being an agricultural country, it always moves ahead with the potential of farmers. Introducing the topic to you, I would say India, with a large and diversified agriculture, it is world's leading producer of many of the cereals, milk, sugar, fruits, spices, seafoods, and I would say the seafood is of considerable importance because India has a very large coastline, and it ultimately accounts into huge considerable amount of seafood. We not only consume this seafood, but also a large portion of it is exported to different foreign locations. The Indian agriculture continues to be the backbone of our society, and it provides livelihood to nearly 50% of the total population. Hence, a continuous innovation as well as the efforts to measure and to manage the productivity pre and post harvest management is very much essential in day to day agrarian activities. Further, you would ask me that what is the necessity to export, why a agrarian product need to be exported. The answer is here. The various fresh fruits and vegetables, fisheries in India have indicated a loss percentage ranging from about 8% to 18% on account of poor post harvest management. Yes, approximately 8 to 18% is lost on account of poor post harvest management and absence of cold chain processing facilities, etc. The big companies like Walmart always moves ahead with a motive of minimizing the wastage. It sells the product by a bit of profit or no profit, but it always moves ahead with minimum wastage motive. However, in India, most of the sellers are engaged in building profit, and you would not find any of the sellers to sell their products with such urge. Therefore, the agro processing and agricultural exports need to be the key concern in day to day life. Now, coming to the steps in agri business export, this is the most essential part where everybody is concerned about in the present scenario. The export is very diverse concept. and a lot of preparation is essential by an exporter before starting a export business. We will deal one by one the different steps involved over here. The first step is establishing an organization. To start with this, we need to register our organization. It may be a company, it may be a partnership firm, or a proprietary concern. Any of such organization need to be registered first with a attractive name as well as logo. Next step in this line is opening a bank account. You need to open a current account with a bank for your organization. See, there is a difference between a current account and a saving account. Basically, an organization need to have a current account. This does not bring ample of profit as saving account, but in day-to-day business operations, a current account is required for different organization. I would make separate video. If you at all feel any difficulty in this area, kindly let me know in the comment box. Further, the third step in this line is obtaining permanent account number. Once you have opened your bank account, you need to have PAN number and you need to link this PAN number with your bank account. The PAN can be obtained from the income tax department. Further, next step is obtaining importer exporter code number. As per the foreign trade policy, it is mandatory to obtain IEC for exporter or importer from India. The Foreign Trade Policy 2015-20 para number 2.05 says that the different procedures to be followed for obtaining an IEC, which is PAN based. That's why I said earlier that you need to know your PAN number. You need to have a PAN number for your organization before you obtain IEC number. Further, an application for IEC is filed online at www.dgft.gov.in. As per the ANF 2A, online payment of application fee of rupees 500 through net banking or credit or debit card is made along with requisite document as mentioned in the application form. Fifth step is registration cum membership certificate RCMC for availing authorization to import or export or any other benefit or concession under FTP 2015-2020, as also availing the services or guidance from FEPB or export promotion councils, boards, authorities, etc. The selection of product is the next step. You need to select what is to be exported first. All items are freely exportable except few items appearing in prohibited or restricted list. After studying the trend of export of different products from India, proper selection of product need to be made. Further, the next step is selection of market. I have made a separate video for selection of market, but for the concern over here, I have mentioned few important points. An overseas market should be selected after research covering the market size, competition, quality requirements, payment terms, etc. An exporter can evaluate the market based on the export benefits available for few countries under FTPs. Certain countries also get status of FNA, most favored nations, etc. The export promotion agencies, Indian missions abroad, colleagues, friends, and relatives might be helpful in gathering information. Next step is finding buyer. You need to find the buyer first because participating in trade fairs, buyer seller meet, exhibitions, web browsing are all an effective tool to find buyers. You can also get help from missions abroad, overseas chamber of commerce, and your friends living abroad. One most important thing is creating multilingual website with product catalog, price, payment, terms, and other related information is also helpful. See, I would give you an example of company which is Indian origin, which is of Indian origin, but it is working in Arabic region. The company publishes or comes out of its catalog with Arabian language along with English and Hindi language. Thus, it makes an additional advantage of reaching to its buyers by having multilingual catalogs. Next step is sampling, providing customized samples as per the demand of foreign buyers help in getting export orders. The sample size must be of such size that it is in accordance to the requirement of foreign traded region, because if you come in accordance to their sample size, your product would be better utilized in the market. Next in this line is pricing or costing. See, the product pricing is very crucial, but attention is to be made to promoting sales in view of international competition. The price should be worked out taking into consideration all expenses from sampling to realization of export, proceeding on the basis of term of sales. Further, the negotiations should be made with the buyers. After determining the buyer's interest in the product, future prospects, and continuity in the business, demand for giving the reasonable allowance discount in price may be considered. Covering risk through ECGC. The international trade involves payment risk due to buyer or country insolvency. These risks can be covered by an appropriate policy from Export Credit Guarantee Corporation Limited. Further, Sarkari Sahyog. How does government support to such agricultural activities? The Agricultural and Processed Food Product Export Development Authority (APDA) has been entrusted with the responsibility of export promotion and development of 14 agricultural and processed food products group. The APDA has set up 5 regional offices at Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Kolkata, and Guwahati, and 13 virtual offices are also enlisted here. These can be reached for carrying or for determining the different solutions of the problems coming in way of exporting agricultural products. Further, APDA has been entrusted with the responsibility of export promotion and development of these 14 agricultural and processed food product groups. Further, in its endeavor to promote agro export, APDA under its planned scheme titled Agricultural Export Promotion Scheme of APDA provides financial assistance to the registered exporters under the subcomponents of the scheme: market development, infrastructure development, quality development, and transport assistance. Thus, at last, I would like to say all the best, my best wishes to all those students who would become future entrepreneur, who would try to be very fruitful to the organization where they work for exporting the different agrarian products. All the best to you, and also I would like to thank you all for watching this video, and please do comment if you find any difficulty in understanding the concepts or making your venture a successful one. Thank you once again.